Hey y'all, welcome back to Caitlyn's Corner. So this week we are celebrating 4th of July, and today I have for you the Star-Spangled Banner, America's national anthem, and history. Alright, if you're ready, we're going to get started with this illustrated version of the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you hear America singing? America's patriotic songs are a record of the country's history. Many of these songs were written when the United States was young. Some were songs inspired by war, and some by thoughts of peace and freedom. They all reflect the country's spirit and dreams. And the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph shall wave. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? So by the dawn's early light, that is morning time. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming. Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air. Gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. There's the flag. Oh, say, does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave? O'er the land of the free. There's our eagle. And the home of the brave. So, about the song, in 1812, the United States went to war with Great Britain. The War of 1812 would last for 3 years. In August of 1814, British troops captured Washington, D.C. They set fire to the White House, the Capitol, and many other buildings. The British then began to move towards Baltimore, which was guarded by Fort McHenry. Francis Scott Key lived near Washington. His friend, Dr. William Beans, had been captured by the British. He was being held on a British ship. President James Madison wrote a letter that gave Francis permission to visit the British commander and ask him to let Dr. Beans go. Francis was allowed to board the ship. He soon found out that the British fleet was getting ready to attack Fort McHenry. He had dinner that night with British officers. They agreed to release Dr. Beans, but the two friends were not allowed to leave the ship until the battle was over. Early the next morning, the British began bombing Fort McHenry. Francis watched from the deck of the British warship. He knew that as long as he could see the American flag, the fort had not been captured. The battle continued through the night. Francis watched. When morning came, the flag was still flying. Francis was so excited. He scribbled on an envelope a few lines of poetry that came into his head. He finished the poem the next day and took it to be printed. By the next afternoon, the poem, The Defense of Fort McHenry, was being read all over Baltimore. People began singing it, using the same tune of a popular song of the time. The defense of Fort McHenry was soon called the Star-Spangled Banner. In 1931, it became the national anthem. So, there's a brief little history about our Star-Spangled Banner and its origin and its writer, Francis Scott Key. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and thank you for tuning in. I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.